Many memes and posts across the internet wherever Pathfinder 2nd Edition is mentioned is about the fabled 3-action system. What is it? Why do so many people love it? How does it work? I'll explain it as best as I can within this video in a timely manner. There will also be timestamps within the video for each particular actions and rule set. In 5th edition, you get an action, movement, and bonus action, plus your reaction resets if you used it. These are all well and good, but everything is tied to a particular action type unless an item or the DM allows it to be done with a different action. An example being pulling a lever. Does it require an action or bonus action? That's up to the DM to decide what you are allowed to do. While in PF2e, during your turn within a round of combat, you get 3 actions to do whatever you want, with most options taking only a single action point, and you can do that same thing 3 times in a row should you want to. That one lever pull could accomplish the same thing in both systems, but in 5e, that one action may require that you've given up a spellcast or attack to accomplish it. While in PF2e, that one action just dips into your total action economy, leaving you with 2 more actions to do whatever you'd like. Let's go over movement between the two systems. In 5th edition, you can only move up to your total speed on your movement phase with the exception of an action surge. But during the move, you can keep going even after stopping to take an action if you have the distance remaining. Like stopping to hit one opponent, then moving to another. You get to use up the total distance you can cover during your turn. Within PF2e, movement is 1 action for your total speed, and if you stop moving, that completes your first action, so allowing people to move 3 times in a row can cover mass distances, but it also means you need to be as practical as possible with your movement. Let's look at 5th edition's Ancient Red Dragon's flying speed of 80 feet. It's fast, but not very threatening in my opinion, versus PF2e's Ancient Red Dragon's flying speed of 180 feet, which is 100 feet faster off the cuff, but then add the fact that you can do that 3 times in 1 round. That is a grand total of 540 feet in 1 turn. That is terrifying. You aren't running away from that. You are being forced to suffer the consequences of your actions if you piss off one of these things. Next up, physical attacks. In 5th edition, you can use your action phase to attack as many number of times as your class is allowed to at whatever level you are. For example, barbarians at 5th level get 2 attacks. In PF2e, you get 1 attack per action unless a feat you've chosen allows for more. Some martial feats combine movement and an attack with 1 or more action points to get the most out of your action economy. But then there are also monks who get Flurry of Blows, which is 2 attacks for 1 action, but you are limited to doing it once a round thanks to the trait called Flourish, which many martial abilities have. You can also spend all 3 actions to attack, but this is honestly a really poor choice thanks to the multiple attack penalty system, or MAP, that balances damage output for martials and foes equally. Some martials are better at attacking 3 times in a row than others, so your mileage may vary on this ruling. But know that for the 3rd attack to land, you basically need to fish for a nat 20 or have the foe be weakened considerably by a caster or fears. But with PF2e being a more tactical game, a martial has other choices at their disposal thanks to the next topic. Skills during combat. 5e doesn't really utilize your proficient skills during combat too often. They exist, but your DM needs to plan to have them there. Like scaling a wall using acrobatics or athletics, intimidating a foe, or possibly using your nature skill in the midst of combat. Outside of a natural 20, which your DM could allow your skills to be tied into, most skills require your action to do them. In PF2e, almost every skill is tied to a one-action ability that is useful in combat. Want to use Deception? Feint your foes to make them flat-footed, which allows for sneak attacks. Intimidation to demoralize your foe makes them frightened, dropping all of their DCs by the value of the condition. Arcana, Nature, Religion, and Occult are big options for recall knowledge, which the DM can give you information on the foe. Athletics can be used to climb, grapple, or break free of some spells and abilities, which is the same for acrobatics, save for the grappling. Spending one action to use your skills and abilities helps out the whole team in some way, and then it opens them up to snowball the weakened foe back to you. For spellcasting, most spells in this system take 2 actions to cast. There are a few 1-action spells, and quite a number of 3-action abilities as well, but the vast majority are 2. Within PF2e, you can also cast multiple spells during your turn. Alongside the myriad of options you have, some spells have multiple ways of casting them, like Heal. 1 action to touch range heal. 2 actions for a 30-foot heal with a bonus added to it, and 3 actions for a 30-foot AoE burst heal affecting friends and foes alike. There are also a few spells that take 2 whole turns to do for a massive payoff. A 2nd level spell called Inner Radiance Torrent has 1, 2, and 3 action casting, but also a 2-turn cast, 6 actions in total for a massive damage boost. Spellcasting within 5th edition also has a lot of concentration spells, and while PF2e has a few of those as well, you can have multiple concentration spells up at once, but they require 1 action to sustain the spell. To wrap this up, how is this impactful to how the game feels? Casters who don't focus on damage actually target their foe's action economy or buffing your allies, as losing even a single action point is highly detrimental to what a foe can even accomplish. Manage to get stunned 2 on an enemy caster? Well, they aren't casting spells for at least 1 round. That buys your whole team time to cover any gap, buff up, or focus down that foe before they have a chance to become a problem again. Marshals often use their 3rd action to move or frighten foes, and doing that is a blessing to your whole team unless that particular foe is up next, as that condition reduces by 1 at the end of their turn. Rogues will likely be good at Deception, to which a successful feint will allow them to sneak attack their target with ease all on their own. In the end, as long as you are enjoying your game and experience, that is the correct system for you to be playing in that moment. I personally love this 3-action system, but I still enjoy 5e and other tabletop RPG systems whenever I have the chance to play them. But with many foes having built-in mechanics that compact movement, attacks, abilities, conditions, or spells that, once you have played a while, really open the door to potent homebrewed abilities of your own. I hope this video helped you understand why this system is memed on so heavily, and that's cause anyone who's tried it typically really enjoys it once the dust has settled. If you stuck around till this point, do like and subscribe to follow for more content. And until next time folks, may the dice be in your favor.